Hi, I'm Maddie Cunningham, and I have been reading one of the great books. I have been reading Concluding Unscientific Postscripts by Soren Kierkegaard. And a lot of Kierkegaard's writings are a response to the Hegelian dialectic of the time, which he thinks overvalues objective knowledge, especially when it comes to the Christian faith. And so by emphasizing the theoretical, he thinks that society really forgets what it means to truly exist and what it means to truly be a Christian. And so in response, Kierkegaard thinks that true knowledge is that which is acquired by active appropriation on the subject's part, and he calls this subjective knowledge. So, for instance, to have religious knowledge is to be religious, or to know love is to be a lover. And in addition to this, he presents three spheres of existence, namely the aesthetic sphere, the ethical sphere, and the religious sphere. And the aesthetic sphere is one in which an individual really just lives for their own pleasures. All that matters is that they get what they want. And ultimately, you must decide whether to remain in that sphere or ascend to the ethical when you're faced with disappointment and unfulfilled desires. So hopefully an individual will choose to ascend to the ethical sphere, and by doing so, commit themselves to morals. However, this sphere ultimately falls short as well when you experience suffering and the failure to live up to moral standards. And so you ascend to the religious sphere and live with an active faith in relation to God. God for Kierkegaard is transcendent and objective, so you must take a leap of faith and trust in God. I think one of the things that Kierkegaard gets right is his stating that God is transcendent. Scripture talks about how God is infinite, he's incomprehensible, who can fathom the deep things of God. And so while he gets God's transcendency right, I think he can run into potential problems, especially when it comes to existence and faith. Because truth is subjectivity for him, you can't really know the object of your faith, and by doing so, I think he can reduce faith to the relationship. So what matters isn't doctrine or even God, the object, but the relationship itself. When I'm 70 years old, I think I will look back on my education here at Bethlehem and be so thankful for the stability that it has brought about, that I can look to no matter what situation I am in life. So when we read the great books, we're asking the question, what does it mean to be human? And in answering that, you have this whole range of literary stories to draw from that you can then relate to your life and to the lives of those around you, and hopefully respond in a way that glorifies God.